right. How's everybody doing tonight? Awesome. How many of you guys are juniors? How many of you guys are seniors? Graduated? Okay, juniors? Juniors? Okay, seniors? And then graduated? Oh, okay, nice. And then I assume the rest of you are just here for, I don't know, like, just to hang out? Okay, cool. So thanks for the introduction. I'm Chevy Ho. I'm Senior Industrial Designer at TEAGUE. I'm here to give you guys kind of a brief overview of kind of my experience in the aerospace industry and why I love it so much and why I'm pretty dedicated to it, the good and the bad. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, you guys will have a kind of a better understanding of if you guys are interested in aerospace, like what lies ahead. So yeah, let's get started. So first, a little about me. I am like you guys. I came out of this program. These are the 20 people that I graduated with. Pretty mixed bag of weirdos, and you know, if you don't know, I'm right here, giving the little cow horns to people over there, and it's great. Funny thing is, I think there's only 3 of us now that are still in strictly industrial design. The rest of them are either, UX UI, which, they're doing pretty well, or lost touch. I don't really know what happened to them either. Come on, it's been 10 years. I also went through the grad show. Just a pro tip for you guys, don't do a 1-to-1 scale mock-up of a bike at your grad show. Just don't do it. Like maybe do a scale model or maybe do a consumer electronics. It was a lot of sanding, it was a lot of filing, it was a lot of just tears. But I made it out. And what was interesting to me was the piece that really helped me get a job was actually my junior project, which was the toaster. I don't know, do you guys still do the toaster? Yeah, I think you guys like rotate, right? Like it's lighting and then toaster and then lighting. Yeah? So yeah, so this was the project that got like a lot of attention for me. And the bike, nobody liked it. So like, the amount of hard work and, it wasn't good. So, FYI. And it was also the fact that I got out of school at the worst economic crisis of our generation. That's also kind of not so good. I don't really have any pro tips for you, like regarding that. Like if you get out of school and there's a huge recession, like sorry, that's just how it's going to work. But yeah. Luckily, though, I was actually interning with my junior toaster. My junior year toaster got me an internship at this place called ID Group. And I basically got stuck, or basically I wouldn't leave them until I graduated. And then by that time, they were so used to me that they just offered me a full-time job. So that was really lucky on my part. I think I was about the only person that had like a full-time strictly ID job out of my year. There was another person, Raymond, who got a job in Shanghai. So he flew all the way over there to get a job. But this place has been really good to me, ID Group. It's taught me how to improve on my sketching. I know you guys focus a lot on sketching already as your program, but like, from a professional standpoint, like you really should start honing, like start to get more comfortable and just really use it as a tool to ideate. So at ID Group, I really started to refine. These are some of the economy class seats that I did as a junior designer. You can see that I was really into Mazda at the time. I don't know, like 10 years ago, there was Mazda Furai. you know, the really crazy concept car. And I don't know, like I had it on my desktop. It was just everywhere, and everything I drew was just Mazda. Like, I think my boss threatened to fire me if I did any more of that. So I had to really focus to get away from it. So but it's okay too. Like, I think if you have a style that you really like and you really want to pursue it and refine like your products based on like a designer like a Fukusawa from Muji, you know, some really cool minimalist design, you should, you know, express it and explore it as much as you want until, you know, you're like, okay, I got it out of my system, I can start doing other things now. The other thing I got really good at, or I improved on, was 3D rendering. So at ID Group, a big part of my job was to kind of create the vision that the C&D Zodiac, this was our client, had. My job was basically take their choppy alias models, make it actually into real, like, nice, tightly knit 3D models and able to render it to a scene. So lighting played a big part. I learned about how to, you know, throw lights in the scene. I learned how to Photoshop the hell out of things that I couldn't light very well. So yeah, that really helped my career because, you know, this might be like a little bit controversial, but sometimes when your designs aren't as nice as, you know, the other people's, you can do a really fancy, nice rendering and get away with it. But, you know, don't do that all the time. You should really be a good designer, period. So, yeah, so this was a big part of my job at ID Group. The other part was, you know, the ideation and the product development side. Having those two skill set really prepped me for basically anything. In a corporate environment, as I will later show you, I used it to my advantage. And lastly, I also got better at design in general. I was able to visualize my kind of design intent and bring it into kind of a full-blown, like realistic, sensible, producible design. And that took me about, you know, I was at ID Group for 5 years, counting the time with my internship. And with the 5 years, I really honed my craft of industrial design, I would say. It took me that long, legitimately, to get to a point where I feel comfortable on my own, from a junior to kind of a staff mid-level designer. I would say that the difference between a junior and a mid-level staff designer is that you're able to carry projects on your own, and you're able to not make your firm look bad and damage control. Like, I remember my old boss, Jeremy, he always had to do damage control for me because all I did was Mazda, like, stuff. And, you know, then he'd come in and he'd actually do another concept that was gonna get picked. So, you know, it's good, it's good. So after 5 years of ID Group, I went to this place called Jamco. It's a Japanese company, and I swear to God, this is the most high-res image I could find online. I'm sorry, this is really bad, but it's like 300 by 400 pixels. It's terrible, but sorry. But it's a Japanese company. They produce aircraft interior components, such as lavatories, and lavatories are these guys right here, airplane seats. They do galleys and bar units. Everything that's inside a plane, they would typically have involvement in. Interesting thing is, this is a company of 1,200 people globally, and I was the only industrial designer in this company. I didn't know it at the time. You know, the boss who hired me in was telling me, oh yeah, you know, we have a global company and we have an R&D department that's like, you know, 20 man strong. And I didn't know that none of them were designers. They were all just engineers. And a lot of them didn't even have CAD skills. So I was just like, oh, wow, okay, cool. So I spent 2 years in this company, and what I got out of it was actually, since I was the only industrial designer, I could do all the Mazda stuff I wanted to. No, I'm just kidding. I got out of it. I got out of it. So I was able to actually carry designs through all the way from kind of inception to like mock-up, prototype, without anybody telling me I can't do it. So because I was the only person who could, 3D model, who could sketch, who could render, who could show ideas of, what anybody had in mind. Like if my boss had an idea, I was able to crank it out. So I was able to do some pretty cool stuff. This was a first-class seat concept for Hamburg 2014, I think. Hamburg is the air show. It's kind of like the Detroit Auto Show of aerospace. And every year, all the suppliers, Boeing, Airbus, they dump a lot of money in there for their mock-ups, for prototype, for their show cars. Show cars meaning show pieces such as their new seats, new anything really. So I developed this first-class seat concept for Jamco, and I was able to produce it for them as well. I was able to manage the mock-up, the prototyping process, and I had to handle basically everything because they didn't know how to do it, and I barely know how to do it because I just, I was on my own. But I was able to, I was able to talk to a lot of the suppliers to get the components that I needed. I was able to negotiate prices for them because Jamco gave me a budget and I had to stick to the budget, and my hours were included in the budget. So it was a pretty interesting baptism by fire for me. But I was able to say, for instance, this monitor is a 42-inch Panasonic IFE, in-flight entertainment system for the airplane, and they just developed it like a month during the time I was talking to them. And they didn't really want to release it. They didn't want to show the airlines that they had something like this, but I was able to convince them just based on my renderings because, they didn't have industrial design, like heavy industrial design, and especially they didn't have a first-class seat that was as developed as what I showed them. So they were able to release it to me, and we were able to put it into our mock-up. And that was a big win for us, and that was a big win for Jamco. Because I think, it's kind of like who has the biggest rims, in that show. The biggest rims is just really for show. It's not really good for anything. Well, 42 inches is pretty big, but, it's just. The other cool thing is I had to kind of manage the shipping of this mock-up, which, mind you, it's probably like the size of like a small compact sedan. This first-class suite, and shipping it was just like a nightmare, and it barely got in on time, and we had to assemble it and everything. So yeah, no, this was a really good working experience. Jamco kind of gave me the freedom to design like everything that I wanted to. Even if I wanted to do all the Mazda styling that I wanted to, they would have let me. So because they had nobody else, so that was good. But from there, I was able to kind of build my experience from a manufacturer and leverage that into kind of my next job, which was TEAGUE. So I've been with TEAGUE for almost 2 years now. No, I have been for 2 years. And I think the experience that I had at Jamco and at ID Group really helped me, especially my the amount of refinement that my sketching and my 3D rendering and my 3D modeling, my core skills that I've developed over the years really, really helped. And at Jamco, I also got the technical knowledge from working with the engineers because they're a company of engineers and I was the only designer. Being able to navigate in their environment really helped me succeed in TEAGUE. And for those of you who don't know, TEAGUE is one of the oldest design firms. It is the oldest design firm that's still running from an industrial design standpoint. So this bald dude is Walter Darwin Teague. He's the founder of the company. And you can see that this office was like 1920s. This was like Mad Men style. They wore ties and everything. It was pretty intense. I did later find out that these were all like super scripted. So these photos, even though it looks like really period, didn't really actually happen. Like people were telling me, like we actually have archivists at the company at TEAGUE, and they were telling me that, you know, they didn't dress like this at all. Like this was just for show. So what TEAGUE is famous for is they do the aircraft interiors for Boeing exclusively, almost, or only for Boeing and not for Airbus. So the Dreamliner, if you guys are familiar with the 787, the sky interior was a TEAGUE design, and it was a very, very iconic design for Boeing, and it got a lot of press. So this is the 787 sky interior. And me being in TEAGUE, I'm responsible for the architecture. The architecture is basically this experience that you're looking at. The architect of the entire cabin, that's kind of where my responsibilities lie at TEAGUE. And right now I'm currently working on the 777X. And I don't know how familiar you guys are with airplanes, but the 777X is the next generation twin aisle airplane that is going to be the flagship for Boeing. It's going to be their highest selling airplane and the most important one for the next 20 years. So that's what I'm currently working on. This is kind of a conceptual early stage rendering of what the airplane will look like. It is slated to come out in 2020. The first airline will be Emirates. I don't know how many of you guys have written on Emirates. Yeah, I see one hand. That's great. So yeah, in a couple more years, you guys should definitely ride on it. It's going to be pretty sweet. So yeah, I think that's kind of a brief history on about me and where I am at now. So I'm going to go through a little bit about why you would want to design for airplane interiors. So first thing for me is the scale. I don't think there are a lot of products out there for industrial designers to touch on that really touches on the largeness of aircraft interiors. It is so big that when you spin around the CAD, you have no idea like how it actually looks in real life. Like you can try to, you know, change the camera to like a 35mm lens, and you can try to spin the model around to kind of your eye level, but you never get to experience the same realism as, you know, as making it. Whereas if you like design a mouse or you design a laptop, you can spin the model around and you can have somewhat of an more accurate perception of the product. That in itself is the challenge, but you know, like how awesome is it when you design something that you can walk into and you can just see all the parts that you've worked on. Yeah, so scale is a huge part of why I think you want to go into aerospace. The other part is with the scale, you can actually start to design with light. And that's an aspect that is, you know, not taught a lot in school. But David Young, he's our principal designer at TEAGUE. He really has the philosophy of let the surfaces be our canvas and let the light be our paint. So the 87 is a perfect embodiment of that. The 87 uses lighting to paint the ceiling blue to simulate the sky, and they want to paint the bins white to simulate the clouds. And yeah, so using light as a tool, that's something that you can only do with scale. So, yeah, so here's another quote that I actually take to heart. I don't know how many of you know who Louis Kahn is. Do any of you know? He's a really famous architect, guys. So, so yeah, he's also a big proponent of building in scale and using, concrete as like one of their biggest building blocks to make their buildings large and monumental. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the complexity of aerospace. An airplane has so many parts, has so many millions of parts that, it takes about 5 to 6 years to develop. It is so complex that it takes about 5 to 6 years to develop the interior, but the life cycle of the aircraft is about 20 years. So based on that, what you design today could be long-lasting. It could be very, very, I guess, iconic, like the 87 was. The 87 is 15 years old, and it's still flying today, and it will continue to fly for the next 5 to 10 years before they refresh the interiors. So I would say that if you're an industrial designer and you really enjoy the aspect of seeing your designs come to life and seeing it, over and over again, then yeah, this is definitely an industry that's very unique, the life cycle part of it. But with the complexity comes a lot of regulations. So the FAA requires all airplane seats to pass the 60G crash test, and what that means is the structure has to withstand 16G of force, and that has a lot of effect on our designs. It has to be, weight is an issue, materiality is an issue. The plastics that we choose have to pass a certain burn rate. And then also structure is a huge issue. For instance, an armrest that you design for an airplane seat has to withstand 400 pounds abuse load. This mannequin, when he hits the airbag, it cannot have any scratches on his head or else it's a fail, So things are pretty confining. But at the same time, because it's so confining, your design space is so limited that when you do find something that is unique and very innovative, it is actually really, really impactful, I would say. Not only do we have to design for the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the US, the North American body, we actually have to make sure our designs pass all the global design agencies. Luckily, I guess their requirements are all derivatives of each other, so in general, you can pretty much get away with it if you pass the FAA in general. But still, that's why TEAGUE has like a team of lawyers, just to make sure our designs are A-okay. So it's, that's another negative to it. So I guess a lot of my efforts in the aerospace industry is to make complicated things simple. And I think that's pretty universal across all products. I guess what's unique about the aerospace is that you're designing an environment and that all the components in it has to be simplified. So there's this whole massive drive of you do the gestures of the architecture, you do the components of the architecture, and you do the seats, all of which has to go through this rigorous effort for, making it simple, making it reduce the parts, reduce the weight. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that's actually the fun part as well. It's like a puzzle, you know? Like you're trying to get all these aspects to play along, and at the end of the day, you're still trying to make a beautiful object. So Ernesto Rogers is another very famous architect. He had a quote to say, "From the spoon to the city," and what he meant by that was he wanted to be an architect that would design the building, the city block, and the buildings that live inside the city block, all the way down to the details of the spoon that is inside the building. And that is a philosophy that I carry when I design architecture for airplanes. You can see here, this is a ceiling panel for the 87, for the Dreamliner. It is very meticulously controlled to have that accelerated gesture. It is very meticulously designed to play along with the lighting. But when you get down to the second read, the detail level, you have the bin latch, which starts to diverge from that accelerated gesture into a more pure geometric shape. But at the same time, you have to make sure it plays along with the interior. And then once you get down all the way down to the product level, you have these galley cart inserts. These are, where's my mouse? These are a galley chiller or a steam oven. So it is used to heat food up. Here are some coffee makers, and all of which is kind of orchestrated to work with our interior. So if you ever get a chance to work in the aerospace industry, I think for me, the greatest joy is that you get to design the grand gestures, the first read, you get to play with light, and then you can move down a level to the touch points, to the moments of discovery that a passenger will have, to the architecture, and then all the way down to the product level where, you know, it's the more familiar product design, the CMF play, the packaging, all of that is encapsulated within the airplane. Lastly, I kind of want to touch on the experience aspect of air travel. I think designing for an aircraft interior, because you get to be responsible for so many aspects of the airplane cabin, you are ultimately in control of the passenger experience and the experience of everybody who's inside of it. This is a Singapore FirstClass seat for the 777-300ER. It's going to cost you $20,000 to ride. We can talk about the disparity level here, but I think that's another discussion. But when you design a first-class suite for Singapore Airlines, for example, let's say, for instance, they wanted companion travel. So we have to design a first-class suite that is able to partition as well as open up. And that all has to be orchestrated within the airplane environment. It is actually an extremely challenging problem to solve, but once you do, you can see that this has a pretty impactful ability. Air travel is still very sexy. There's still a mystique about air travel, and it is my job as an industrial designer for TEAGUE to keep that mystique alive. It is a much easier job to keep that mystique alive when you're designing for business class or first class, when money is not an object. It is much more difficult to keep it alive at the economy class level. I don't have that answer yet, but we're still in that pursuit. I think along with that experience that you're responsible for delivering, you're also responsible for obtaining the traditions of air travel and also the, how do you call it? Yeah, just the mystique. This is an interior for Virgin Atlantic, I think. As you can see, they really try to explore on the lighting aspect, which since we've done our job correctly and kind of celebrating the lighting aspect of the cabin, Virgin was able to kind of utilize that cabin and celebrate along with us. And ultimately, just like pretty much all industrial design work, we are designing for the human being. So everything that you do, from the grand gestures to the touch points to all the way down to the product, ovens, coffee maker level, everything has to revolve around the user, the human. Yeah, and I think that in itself is a really exciting thing to design for. And that's it. So this is kind of our main kitchen area for TEAGUE, and we have this slogan, "Design this day," slapped across the floor like that, and it's just to remind us that we have to uphold the traditions of TEAGUE as well as for the airlines and the air travel. No architecture classes. I did the exact same program you guys did, or you guys are doing. Yeah, the interesting thing is that after I started working in the architecture side of the airplane, I started to realize that our industrial design methodology is universal across at least the architecture side of things. I think if you have a robust enough design process, you can actually adapt it to architecture, you can adapt it to UX, UI, you can adapt it to a host of other things. I think everybody will tell you that the core skills are super important, right? Your sketching, your 3D modeling, your rendering skills, your Photoshop skills, all those things will help you to get a job, right? And everybody knows this. Everybody in this room knows this. So I think what's something that I didn't quite appreciate was kind of the work ethic, or the lack of a better word, the office job environment attitude that you carry. Because I've seen a lot of designers come and go, and what breaks them a lot of times is just their lack of composure or their lack of work ethics. And because work ethic and I guess your office mentality is about the only thing you guys can do to communicate with other people of other disciplines, if you can't work well with them, then you're in a tougher situation. So I would say maybe work on work ethic. No, yeah, that's actually a really good point. So David Young, that principal designer at TEAGUE, he always tells us, like, are you going to be happy with this? Because it's going to be stuck there for 20 years. So like every little detail that you do, you're under that much more scrutiny, because if you're, let's say for instance, oh yeah, do you see this guy right here? This little eyebrow? Oh, sorry, my mouse. This eyebrow on the ceiling, it's kind of an afterthought design, and it's going to be stuck there for 20 years. And sure, like most people might not notice it, like you guys probably didn't notice it until like I pointed it out. But if I sit in that seat, I'm going to look at that eyebrow for the whole flight. So yeah, like there's that aspect to it, because it will be stuck for 20 years. And then the other aspect of it is, yeah, you can't do extreme styling like the Mazda stuff that I really like to do. You can't do any of that. Like I've never had anything that's remotely close to Mazda that has gotten into the market. So it's really sad. Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So when I was at ID Group, I had to learn Pro E, and I learned Pro E. Actually, even before Pro E, I learned SolidWorks. I'm sure you guys are still using SolidWorks, right? Yeah. So I didn't get good at SolidWorks like professionally because I had to learn Pro E at ID Group. And sorry. But when I got to TEAGUE, when I got to Jamco, I used whichever program that I was good with, which was Pro E. But when I got into TEAGUE, I had to pick up Rhino because everybody there, all the industrial designers were using Rhino. So yeah, I picked it up. I would say that you should be open to learning new tools, but you should always have a bedrock, like a foundation. So when you guys are in school, you guys should just get as good with a tool as you possibly can, because ultimately they're just tools. I had to learn Rhino, and I've grown to love Rhino. But if they were using like sticks and stones to create like aircraft interiors, I would have used sticks and stones, right? Like they're just tools in the end. But be open to learning them because CAD programs are kind of like a language, right? And you're using language to communicate with other people. Likewise, you're using CAD to communicate with other people. So having new tools or having the ability to learn new languages is always a good thing. Yeah, no, that's a really good question and very kind of on the technical business side. And yeah, I can definitely go into it. So on the architecture scale, all the bins, all the ceilings, all the sidewalls, and all the lighting, they pretty much remain intact. If, let's say, Emirates uses the plane for 5 years and they sell it to Ethiopian Air for whatever reason, they will still keep the ceiling, they'll still keep the bins. But what will most likely happen is they'll get rid of all the seats and they'll do another set. So the seats actually have a lifespan of about 5 to 10 years, which is still super long in a kind of a normal industrial design standpoint. But 5 to 10 years is really quick for us. And seats are about the quickest turnaround products that we have. Oops. And as for kind of designing to protect for that life cycle, I guess we don't really design for that. We design for the first 5 customers for an airplane launch. So for 777X, we have, the Emirates, we have, the Cathay Pacifics, we have the Lufthansas. And that's all we really worry about because every other airline will have to use that architecture or the suite of parts that we create from the architecture in order to just make their cabin. For seats, though, we design for almost all the tier 1 airlines have their own specific seats and their own specific needs. So those are all very, very specific to each airline because each airline have a different type of, I guess, market. So they're very specific about that. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll kind of go back to kind of our design process. So we start off definitely with a very robust envision phase. And what that means is we look into existing seats, competitors. We look into kind of the brand identity of the airline. So Virgin Atlantic has a very unique brand identity. We also look at the users of Virgin, and we would design a seat based on, we would design the mood boards based on it. And the mood boards, maybe I can show you from this guy. They're kind of a more complicated version of that, right? So we actually spend a lot of time at TEAGUE creating mood boards and creating the themes that we will design into, because ultimately, because the design process is so long, so because the design process is so long that we a lot of times get lost, and we always go back to our theme boards as kind of our milestones, our touchstones. And we always go back to that, and we have groups. We have design groups that would just design for one theme, and then we would design for another theme, and that's kind of how we go about it. Yes, so seats are very passenger focused, but when you're designing other products such as galleys, which are predominantly, maintenance focused and very flight attendant focused, those are all about the flight attendants. So at the end of the day, it's whatever user the product interacts most with, we have to adhere to. The only thing that I've personally never had a chance to design inside the airplane was the cockpit. So yeah, if I were to design a cockpit, that would mean I have to basically design for the pilot, right? But for the most part, the biggest portion of the aircraft interior is for the passenger. And I think TEAGUE, or any design firm that designs for aerospace, we are basically the only advocates for the user, especially ergonomics. The airline will care about it, and they will have experts that look into it, but we are ultimately the people that execute for the user. So yeah, we hold kind of an important place in that spectrum of things.